Hello and welcome to the 2016-2017 Varsity Girls Basketball Preview Show. I'm Jason Burt. In this program, we will give you a sneak peek at our 5 local schools in and around Macomb Township and get you ready for the upcoming season. We will also look at the schedules for each team and give you a chance to mark off those important games on your calendars. First, we start with the new alignments in the Macomb area conferences. Every 2 years, the MHSAA realigns teams based on previous success or lack thereof the prior 2 years. The new MAC Red looks like this. Dakota remains in the top league along with state champ Warren Cuzno, Romeo, Port Huron Northern, Grosse Pointe North, and Grosse Pointe South. The MAC White includes Eisenhower, Utica, Sterling Heights, Utica Ford, Stevenson, and Port Huron. The MAC Blue welcomes L'Anse Creuse North and Chippewa Valley, along with Anchor Bay, Lakeview, Warren Fitzgerald, and Fraser. All right, we start things off this year with the only team in the preview playing out of the MAC Red, the Dakota Cougars. Last year they finished 13-8 overall and 500 in the Red. With a nice group of seniors along with a talented underclass coming back, Dakota is ready to make a splash in what's going to be a very challenging MAC Red League.
I'm very excited with this group. We've got 6 seniors that worked really hard in the off season. We added a very strong freshman, and Tara Benevich, another key member that was a sophomore last year, had a great year, and coming in as a junior is going to help us big time. So really looking forward to this year.
With that much experience coming back, obviously that helps so much to have kind of those floor leaders as all those seniors playing together. How beneficial do you think that's going to be for you guys?
Oh, that's huge. Most of them have played together since they've been sophomores. We took our lumps a couple years ago, and last year, we had I thought a successful season with 13 wins in the tough MAC Red. Which I think is the best league in the state of Michigan. Cuzno, state champion, and Port Huron Northern quarterfinalists last year. So we hung right in there with those guys last year, and I'm very excited to see how we handle it this year.
With having 6, 7, 8 returners this year, we know those end of game situations, especially the season we had last year, coming down close games. We've all been there. We're ready to really stay focused this year and pull through in those close games.
We work well together. We should have a good starting 5, strong starting 5. We're all going to be really tall. We have strong defense. On offense, we have really good three-point shooters. Our seniors are going to really help step up and bring our team up this year.
My key that I always talk about is teamwork. Moving the ball around. When we 4 years ago when we won 20 games, all of our starters averaged between 10 and 12 points a game. And I would love to see that happen again this year. It just makes everybody play that much better when we're all working together as a team. Emily Langoff, she's a key as our point guard to move, keep the ball moving, and obviously a great three-point shooter on top of it. Jamae Simmons has just taken great strides from last year. Every year she gets better and better. She just committed verbally to Concordia, and we're expecting big things out of her. And Lauren Zaley had an outstanding summer this year. Probably one of the best posts I've ever had as far as passing goes. Just knows when to pass the ball, get the ball out, transition, makes things happen. Those are 3 of our key seniors right there.
I say our strength is going to be mostly the centers because we have a whole bunch of 6-footers, so I feel like we're going to dominate in the paint mostly.
Our defense, we have really strong defense and effort especially. We're a really hard-working team and we have a lot of heart, so we should be really successful.
I think they're going to strive this year to take it to that next level. Our league, like I said, is so difficult, and it's easy to take a bad loss and get down. But this year, with the senior leadership in that, I don't see that this year. I see a group of kids that really have one goal in mind, that's to have a successful season. Carpe diem, seize the day. And, I think, our seniors came up with the idea. I thought it was a great idea. It's something that, in high school sports you don't always think about is is how important every day is, and don't take anything for granted. And every day get better. Don't accept where you were yesterday. Get better. Our first game's against Country Day, probably the top team in the state, and we're ready to go. I can't wait to get started.
Here is Dakota's schedule. They open up on December 2nd at home against Anchor Bay, followed by a road game against Lansers North. 2 more at home against rival Chippewa Valley and then Roseville. Defending state champion Cuzno on December 21st, which will be played at the Palace of Auburn Hills. After Rochester Adams, they'll open up the new year with league play at home against Grosse Pointe South and Romeo. Then a tough road game against Port Huron Northern on January 17th. Back-to-back with the Grosse Pointe schools, then Cuzno again, this time at home on January 27th. Then it's Romeo and a rematch against Northern on February 3rd. Then one more against Grosse Pointe North before the new MAC tournament, which starts on the 10th. And they close out with Utica Ford on February 22nd. Next up this year in our preview, playing out of the MAC White, is the Eisenhower Eagles. They had an outstanding season a year ago, winning the White with an 11-1 record. They lost in the first round of districts, however, which they have not forgotten about. They lost some key players, but with a new crop of leaders, they hope they can bounce back from how the season ended and contend for another league title.
We got a great group. We got 12 girls this year on the varsity. Girls have been working hard. We don't have a lot of size. We have a lot of speed. We have a lot of athleticism. Got a lot of girls coming back from last year's team, which is huge. Anytime you have girls who are coming back from an 18-3 team, they know what success is, but they also know that when you're 18-3, that means 21. That means you lost in your first round of district. So I think they tasted success, but they also have that motivation, to try to take it to the next step and, keep getting better each day and out, and hopefully we can last longer than one game in the districts. It's going to be an interesting group. I'm excited. We're doing a lot of things differently than we haven't done in the past because of the fact that we don't have the size. A lot more quicker style. I know the last couple of years we're more of that half-court man-to-man, slug-it-out kind of team that gives up 32, 33 points a game. And this year, with the style that we're going to be playing defensively, I told my co-coach, there's not going to be many nights where we're giving up 33. We're going to be giving up 40, 45 maybe with the style that we're playing. But we also have a lot of girls who can score. And as long as you can outscore the team at the end and still have that basic defensive fundamental from when you have to make a stop, hopefully good things come to us.
I think we're going to be pretty successful and hopefully be just as good as last year, possibly better, and have a good outcome of the year.
We got a good challenging non-conference schedule. We got rewarded for last year's success by getting to go down to Callahan Hall and play in a little mini-series with the MAC and the Catholic League teams. And then we got Grosse Pointe South and Romeo, our third and fourth game. So game 2 is Ladywood, game 3 is South, and game 4 is Romeo. So we're going to get tested pretty early on in our non-conference, which is what we wanted to do, to get ready for league play. Then they got the new MAC tournament this year, and then obviously to try to prepare for districts as well. Our speed, our athleticism, we're very quick. We got good basketball knowledge too. Like I said, when we're teaching things, most of the girls that we're going over things with, this is stuff that they know from previous years, from playing with myself and our co-coaches here. So when we're teaching things that are new, we're kind of only teaching it to 4 or 5 kids, where for the other girls, it's more of a refresher. But like I said, when we're teaching a different style of defense and things, we're still using our basic man-to-man principles, but just kind of incorporating it more into a zone trap set.
On this year's team, I'm very excited about it. I feel like we're very fast. We have a lot of good shooting guards this year. We have a lot of good personalities mixing together. We know each other really well and how we play on the court. I think that's going to be to our advantage this year.
Our defense, for sure. It's going to be a fast-paced game, so we got the speed, we got the defense, rebound. It's just the little things that will probably get us to the top.
Honestly, I'm so excited. We've never had such a fast group. I'm really excited to get the season started for our games. I think it's going to be a lot of fun this year. I expect us to get down the floor fast, and I'm looking forward to it.
I think the big key for this team is, how do we respond to the challenges we're going to face in our non-league schedule. You know, we kind of got off hot last year. We got off to that 11-0 start, and that's one of the things I told the girls, you know, this year, I go, you can't expect it. I mean, you can want it, but you really can't expect it, to be honest with you. You know, and if things, you know, if we hit some road bumps in our non-conference schedule, you know, we scheduled it for a reason, you know, to kind of prepare for that second half. You know, how do the girls respond? And we're hoping as coaches they respond very well. I'm expecting we're going to play very well in those non-league games, but we also know that we have challenges above us. And the reason we set those challenges is because, you know, in the end, our expectations are very high.
Here is Eisenhower's schedule. They open with 3 straight home games beginning on November 29th against Chippewa Valley. After those 3, they have 2 road games against Romeo and Troy. Armada on December 20th. Then league play opens up in January against Sterling Heights on the 3rd. After a road game against Stevenson, they are back home against Port Huron on the 10th. Then 3 straight road games against Ford, co-champs a year ago Utica, and Sterling Heights on the 19th. Then home against Stevenson on the 24th. After another road game, they are home for 2 against Ford and Utica. Then the MAC tournament, which begins on February 10th. And they close out with defending state champion Warren Cuzno on February 22nd. Next up out of the MAC White, the Utica Chieftains. They're coming off back-to-back league championships, finishing 11-1 in both years in the White. They have some talent coming back and are hoping even with the new alignments they can be in the mix once again.
We're excited. We don't return a lot of experience, but we've had kids that have worked really hard in the off season, have done all the things we've asked them to do, we think we're going to be pretty athletic, and we're going to try and play fast. And I think it's a great group of kids. I think we're going to have fun, and I think it'll be rewarding. We've kind of committed over the last couple of years to playing a certain style and pressing and playing fast. So I think this personnel, even though it's new personnel, still fits that style. So I think we're going to play that same kind of style. And you know, some nights early on we may struggle a little bit, but once we get it, I think we'll be okay.
We're willing to work hard. I mean, we're not the team that we were last year, but we have the girls that can be that team.
I'm really excited for our team. Like, I know we lost a lot of seniors last year, but like, I'm really excited to see like what this new team can bring for us. I definitely think that we have like a really good group of girls, and we play really well together. So I think we have like a shot at doing the same things we did last year.
We're athletic. We can run. I don't know basketball skill-wise in some of the kids we're replacing, but we haven't lost anything when it comes to just quickness and athleticism. We really have kids who can run the floor and get after it defensively. So we'll continue to do that. And again, you say it's going to be a strength, but a lot of it has to do with how quick it comes. And I think it's going to come pretty quick, but we'll have to wait and see.
Really excited. I mean, we may not have like the same people as last year, but we're all really positive and good. We have good energy. We just want to push each other harder each practice and just have focus the entire time.
The 6 seniors we lost last year had back-to-back league titles and enjoyed a lot of success. So yeah, these kids saw it, and the other kids that were part of it, tell them that we like to say it's a whole lot more fun to win. Winning's a whole lot more fun than losing. So you hope you can win, but the good thing about all our groups here is they're kids that work hard and they play for each other and they play for the right reasons, and they're going to enjoy it one way or another. But yeah, we'd like to keep winning the way we've won the last couple of years, and hopefully we can do that. Lindsay Lavelle started just about every game last year, and deservedly so as a junior. And Lindsay's very talented offensively and fits what we do because she's 5'11", but she's very athletic. She can run. So we expect big things from her. And then we return Emily Sahoski and Brooke Camille, which came off the bench for us the last 2 years. But we didn't drop off much when they came in. As a matter of fact, at times, those two, when we needed a lift defensively, when we brought them in the game, it actually elevated our full court defense. So they're going to be our mainstays at the 1 and the 2, and I'm hoping, and I really believe that they'll be the nucleus of our press and get us into the things we want to get into and pressure people. And then we got Grace Hardigan back finally. Grace tore her ACL really badly as a sophomore in our very first game her sophomore year. So we haven't seen Grace in a game with any meaningful minutes since then. So we're pretty excited to have her back, and she's going to add an element to our offense that we haven't had. She's a very good shooter, a very smart player, and will do a lot of things for us, as well as a great leader and a great senior. So we're excited about that. I think we can be competitive every night. I think our defense can keep us in games every single night. Beyond that, that's about it. Expectations really for us are that we're not going to get outworked, we're not going to get out-fundamentaled, and we're going to have great citizens. And our teams year in and year out do those things. And I think, we always say you focus on the little things and big things take care of themselves. Those are the little things we'll always focus on here. And we have truly wonderful kids from top to bottom. So we know we're going to work hard, we know we're going to get better, we know we're going to play hard, and we know we're going to get along. And if you do all those things, it's some level that's going to be a successful season, and I'm sure that will be the case for us.
Here's the schedule for Utica. They open up against Regina on December 3rd. Then 4 straight road games, which includes league opponents Stevenson and Port Huron. A 4-game homestand begins against Utica Ford on January 10th, followed by Sterling Heights, Eisenhower, and Stevenson. After a road game against Rochester Adams, they take on Port Huron on January 23rd, then Ford on the 27th. 2 more road games against Sterling Heights and Eisenhower on February 2nd, then 2 home games before the MAC tournament begins on February 10th. And they close out with Romeo on February 21st. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll preview 2 more schools now playing out of the MAC Blue, L'Anse Creuse North and Chippewa Valley. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Prosecuting Attorney Eric Smith, reminding you it's against the law to consume alcohol if you're under the age of 21. Underage use or possession of alcohol is a criminal offense with serious legal consequences, up to 93 days in jail, up to a $500 fine, and can stay on your permanent record. A conviction for minor in possession of alcohol can negatively affect your life and prevent you from entering many professions. Don't close the door to your future. Don't drink underage.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to the 2016-2017 Varsity Girls Basketball Preview Show. I'm Jason Burt. Our next team in our preview show is the L'Anse Creuse North Crusaders, playing out of the MAC Blue. LCN struggled last year, finishing with an overall record of 3-18. They have a trio of talented seniors that now have some experience, and Coach Bob Johnson hopes that they can turn things around from last year.
I like the group. We struggled quite a bit last year, but those girls dedicated their time this spring and summer and improved their skill set quite a bit, so we'll see. Like I said, we took kind of a beating last year, and we were very, very young and inexperienced. And we're not so young and we're not so inexperienced this year, so I like that.
I'm back. Let's go.
again, we were both young and inexperienced last year, and it's a dreadful combination. But because of that, I think that this year, those girls, they are more cohesive, and I think it's going to make a big difference for us.
I think we definitely learned from our mistakes last year, and we'll remember those in those situations and use them to better ourselves this year. And I think we all want to do good this year, especially coming off the season last year where we didn't do so well.
I had a conversation last spring with Maya, Shelby, and Cheyenne, and I said, look, this is your team. You're the ones that have to demand of others, and you're the ones that have to be here, and you have to put in the time. And they've really done a nice job of that this year. So I think that that's going to bode well for the kids.
I think we have a lot of drive and hustle, and we're all super motivated. We all worked really hard before the season to get ready for it.
I think our skill set is a really big strength because we spent all this time building it up, and I think now that we're getting a lot of older kids on the team, I think we're going to have a really good ability to compete and handle the ball really well this year.
Maya is our leading scorer from last year, all-county player. She's been with the program since 7th grade almost. So this is her senior year. We expect an awful lot out of her. Shelby and Cheyenne, we're not all league players, but we expect an awful lot out of them from a leadership standpoint. They've got to score a little bit more. They've got to play a little bit better defense, and they're aware of what their responsibilities are to the program.
Good. Back pedal. Good. Obviously, you don't want to kind of think too far ahead, but when you have that experience and you think maybe that might lead to maybe more wins and maybe just more quality play, what's the optimism level from you?
Well, it's high. I mean, that's the great thing about coaching and being involved in sports is that when you start a new season, everybody's got great optimism right in the beginning, and we have that as well. It's what happens from here to the end of the season that will determine how successful we are.
Here's the schedule for L'Anse Creuse North. They open up at home against St. Clair on December 1st. Then a game against Dakota at home. The Dave Jackson Tip-Off Classic is on December 10th when they take on L'Anse Creuse, followed by a road game against Sterling Heights. After Warren Woods Tower, the new year kicks off with league play in the blue against Anchor Bay on January 3rd, then Chippewa Valley on the 6th. After a couple more games, they start a 3-game road trip with games against Fraser, Anchor Bay, and Chippewa on January 24th. Lakeview on the 27th, followed by Warren Fitzgerald, Fraser, and Warren Mott. The MAC tournament begins on February 10th, and they close things out with a road game against Centerline on February 23rd. Now on to the Chippewa Valley Big Reds. They are also dropping down to the blue this season after finishing 6-15 last year. They are young, but with a few talented seniors mixed in, they hope they can continue to build on some success.
We're young, but I like the depth that we have this year. I think we can go a little bit deeper into our bench than we've been able to do in the past. So we're still young, though. I mean, I have 2 seniors. We've got 6 sophomores, 2 freshmen, so we're definitely young, but I like their energy. They come every day, they work hard, and they're willing to learn. So that's something that's been exciting these last couple weeks, just coming into practice and they're ready to go, ready to learn. We have our core group of kids back. I think 4 out of our 5 starters are returning this year. So, I mean, that's something that's definitely a benefit to us. Gives us that experience that we haven't had in the past few years because they were young players, but now that they've been on varsity for 3 or 4 years, for some of them, it just helps our experience and be able to work with some of the newer players, like kids that have come up from JV and gone through the program.
We can depend on each other, and we trust each other more than we did last year. And as a program, we're looking to strive forward, and I feel like we're going to have better success this year.
I think that there's a lot of talent. We should be ready to come down to the MAC Blue. I think we're going to dominate this year. We should be really good. We have a lot of talent coming in as young players. A lot of young players aren't really experienced, but we have a couple freshmen and a lot of sophomores, and we have a lot more experience than I thought we would. I think we're ready.
I think we've taken a beating the last few years, so it's a good thing, I think, for us to get some confidence back. And last year we won 3 league games. We were 6-15 overall, so I think we're just coming in this year hoping to be more competitive and maybe get to that 500 record and just be more competitive in the league. I know we would like to finish in top 3. I think that's something we're capable of doing, coming from playing in the white, playing against that tougher competition, and coming down into the blue. And I don't know, it'll be an interesting year to see how we match up with some teams and just how well we play against teams that we haven't really seen in the past 2 years.
Just to push yourself, never give up, you know, always go into every practice, every game like it's your last, and just push yourself the best you can.
We have Zion Mitchell back down low in the post, so that's definitely something where we're looking for her to up her points per game, rebounds per game, and just try and be more of a force down low than she has been, and just dominate a little bit more than she has, you know, as a senior. It's her senior year, so we're expecting her to hopefully do that for us down low. And then we have Ivy Velasquez back, and you know, she's been a starter since she was a 9th grader. She's a junior this year, so it's an important year for her in terms of just being more productive on the offensive side. I mean, defensively, she's just a force, and she's tough, and she does anything we need her to do. She can guard the point guard or guard the post player down low. So really, defensively, she just helps us, you know, be strong on that end of the floor. But we need her to just be more consistent on the offensive end this year for us. And then we have Gina Liss back, our point guard, where last year the ball was in her hands about 90% of the time, so we're expecting her to have the ball in her hands again. And, you know, again, a little bit more point production from her, and just more consistent in terms of hitting shots when she gets the opportunities in games, and bringing the ball down and running our offense, and just kind of being the general on the court. I think at the beginning you're always optimistic. You set your goals, you kind of see where you're at, and I think with what we have returning and the players that we have added this year to the team, I think we can definitely reach at least a 500 or better record and be competitive in the league, just because we are moving down from a higher division.
Here's the schedule for Chippewa Valley. They open up with 2 road games, beginning with Eisenhower on November 29th. Home opener is December 6th against Utica Ford. Then rival Dakota on the road on December 9th, followed by 2 home games against the Troy schools. January opens up with league play against L'Anse Creuse North on the 6th, followed by Anchor Bay and Fraser. Lakeview on the road, then 2 more home games against Warren Fitzgerald and LCN on January 24th. 2 road games against Anchor Bay and Fraser. Then a home matchup against Lakeview on February 2nd. After their last league game with Fitzgerald, the MAC tournament begins on February 10th. And then they close out regular season play with a game against Sterling Heights on February 21st. Well, we thank you for joining us for the girls basketball preview show. Don't forget to check out the playback times right here on MTGA for the boys basketball preview show, which will start airing in early December, or this program if you missed any part of it. You can also find playback schedules or full games, or watch other programs online at www.macomb-mi.gov. You'll be able to see several games throughout the year for both boys and girls, so keep it locked right here this winter to Macomb Township Government Access. We wish everyone luck this year, as we are looking forward to another great season. For the rest of the crew here at Macomb Township Government Access, I'm Jason Burnt. Thanks again for watching. So long.